Good evening and welcome to today's edition of You Speak on the African Town Hall online television. You Speak is a public speaking training program of Project 30 Before 30 International designed to help the rising generations of Africa learn to get their voice, speak up, and help in the orderly development of their societies. Our speaker today is Samuel James Kamara from Freetown, Sierra Leone, West Africa. Mr. Kamara is a rising generation graphic designer who is currently studying motion graphics, video editing, and web design. It is my pleasure to invite Samuel James Kamara to the online studios of the African Town Hall online television so he will have a chance to speak to Africa.
Thank you,
Kamara,
Maybe.
you are welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Maybe.
Thank you very much.
It is my privilege to be on this platform, even as to be able to speak to us. Good evening, all. But maybe I'm very grateful for this opportunity. But there is something I would like to start with first. That is the wise words from this popular musician, a reggae musician from Jamaica. His name is Bob Marley. Bob Marley once said that we should emancipate ourselves from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our mind. And that is a very important statement from Bob Marley. And in many a times today, we are seeing these things that we are being hooked up by our mind, and it leads to mental slavery. So only ourselves can free up our mind. There are four things that I wish to speak to us on today of how I was able to draw upon the power of positive thinking, or how I am doing to get upon that power of positive thinking. It has helped me before. It is helping me, and it will continue to help me only if I continue to apply it in my personal lives and in my daily activities. And these five things that I wish to speak on us today is the first one is believe in yourself, of which I have applied, and I'm continuing to applying it. Believing in oneself is a very much important thing that we need to get in mind. To formulate and stamp indelibly a mental picture of yourself as succeeding. You should never think of yourself as failing. It's one thing I've always got in mind, even while I was on mission, serving as a full-time missionary for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. There are goals that we set as full-time missionaries. And these goals help us to stretch. We set goals that help us to stretch and for be able to fulfill them. We might thought that these things, we will not accomplish them. But believing in oneself makes you to stretch, which is very much important. I apply that principle and having that positive thinking, positive mindset. And everything we are doing, we have to have positive mindset. I did apply that, and I saw many good things come out positively because of the mindset that I have. I thought of believing in myself. And there's another thing that I always thought of in believing myself. Whenever a negative thought concerning my personal powers come to mind, what I do is I deliberately voice a positive thought to cancel it out, and it has helped me a lot also to voice a positive thought to cancel that negative mind out, that negative thought out of my mind, and it helps me a lot. And I've been practicing that, and I'm doing that right now, and I'll continue to do that because whatever you tell the mind to do, that's what the mind will do. The mind is a very much important element in our body, which we need to be training every single day. we should always picture success, no matter how badly things seems to be going at the moment. Part of my missionary experience, I always thought of that there are times we have success and there are times that are hard times that we come back to our home or our apartments and we got hungry or we are not happy because what happened is that we did not get the desired success that we need at that particular time. But one thing I've always learned, or I've continued to learn, is that of we should always picture success in our mind, no matter, the difficulties that we are facing. It is always ahead. We should always have that mental picture of uh, of thinking about success. We should never and ever build up obstacles in our imagination. Many people at times they are doing that thing, building up obstacles in their imaginations, which is disturbing, and it is getting other thoughts jam packed, even the positive ones. We don't try to figure them out at times because what happens is that there are obstacles in our imaginations. Our thoughts is filled up, and they are most of the times it filled up with the negative ones. So what we have to do is that we should never build up obstacles in our mind because difficulties must be studied and efficiently dealt with to be eliminated. So if you don't study difficulties, if you don't watch out for difficulties efficiently, it will never be eliminated. So what we need to do is that we need to study it efficiently in our minds so that we can be able to eliminate it, to deal with it. Because that is very much important. And one other thing again about believing myself that I've always practiced is that of not to be outstruck by other people and try to copy them. Many a times we try to copy other people, which is very bad. We don't copy other people, and if we try copying other people, what will happen is that it will run out bad for us. And at other times we will come and say that, oh, this thing is, I'm not getting this, I'm not getting that, which is very bad because one at a time we try copying other people. Nobody can be you as efficiently as you can. So what you need to do is that try to be you, don't copy other people, and that will make you efficiently. That will make you efficient. Sorry. So, and the second thing that I've always applied in my life, or that I'm applying also, is that of inflow of new thought. I've always thought of that. That, like I said earlier, what you tell the mind to do, that is what the mind will do. You must feed your mind even as you feed your body. And to make your mind healthy, you must feed it nourishing, wholesome thought. Just like for the body to go, what do? You take Ovaltine, you eat nourishing food, and that's the same thing with the mind. The mind, you need to feed the mind nourishing food. And what are those nourishing food? With positive thoughts, positive thinking. You don't wake up one morning and you say that, oh, things are stressful, things are this, things are that. That is a negative talk. You don't just wake up the morning and begin to say that this, that. There are two things that I always look in my mind. These are the first things. A question opens the mind, and a statement closes the mind. You cannot be saying, "I can't afford it," and that is a statement. And when you say that word, "I can't afford it," it tells you, it closes the mind because it's a statement. And once you tell the mind to do, that is what the mind will do. But a question like, "How can I afford it? How can I do that?" It opens up the mind. So what we should be doing is that we should be saying a statement which closes the mind. I can afford it. I can do it. I can do that. I can do this. And that is a positive thought. And when we start to do that, it brings inflow of new thought, which can make us. one thing is that we need to note is the mind quickly responds to teaching and discipline. So what you tell the mind to do, that is what the mind will do. Just like a little child. In social work, while I was doing my diploma, I learned something very much important of one of those philosophers. And this is what they say, that a baby, while growing up at around 1 to 3 years old, that's the right time to be teaching that baby. The baby can learn from words, from action, and from what you say around them. So you should be careful when saying these words to this baby, because that is what will be in their mind. That is what will be in their subconscious when you start saying these things. So what we should always do is that we should always teach the mind to respond to teaching and discipline. So what you teach the mind, that is what the mind will do, and that has been helping me many times. The secret of a better and more successful life is to cast out those old, dead, unhealthy thoughts. Substitute for them new, vital, dynamic, fit thoughts. Depend on it. They say these are the words of Norman Vincent Peale. One thing I like on this line is that an inflow of new thoughts will make you and your life. So the more you bring new thoughts and positive ones into your life, is what will remake you. That Norman Vincent Peale is an author of a book called The Power of Positive Thinking. And that book has been helping me a lot since I was serving as a full-time missionary in Nigeria, a part of Africa. Uh, I bought that book, that was in 2017, and I've been reading that book, and it has been helping me opening my horizon and opening my mind and heart to new thoughts, and opening my heart to things that I'm learning that are very much important for each and every human being to know these things. So when we have inflow of new thoughts, it will make us and our life. So one thing we should always know is that we need to visualize and be optimistic. We should never be pessimistic. We should always be optimistic and look for a brighter future and think that yes, this I can do. This will happen in the next 2 years. This will happen in the next 5 years. While serving as a missionary, I always mention this serving as a full-time missionary because it has played a great role in my life. And yes, it has really played a great role in my life. While I was serving as a full-time missionary, there are goals that I set that when I come back home, these are the things that I need to fulfill. And I set a goal of in the next 3 years, I will achieve these things. In 2018, starting January, that is when I thought of these goals and I set them. When I return back home, I need to have a place to stay. It is difficult at a time to get a place to stay when I get back home. But I always, after reading this book, Norman Vincent Peale, Power of Positive Thinking, I said, oh yes, I can get a place to stay. And the second thing that I thought of is a job. And I set goals. I plan, because goals without planning is not goals. You need to plan and set goals. So what I did is that for a place to stay, I started making contacts. After setting these goals, I started making contacts back home. Oh, please, if you know there's somewhere they're renting house, let me come and stay there, because I don't want to go to stay with my parents anymore, or with my grandma anymore that I used to stay with before. So I told them, okay, please find a place for me to stay. When I come, I will find a way to get money to pay. I was not expecting money at that time to pay a rent. But what I did is that I always have that positive mind. I believe in myself that I can do it. Inflow of new thoughts that continues to remake me. And about the job, yes, of course, I did get a job when I get back home, and also a place to stay. My goal that I've set. And in 2020, according to my goal, I set a goal that I will get married. And of course, I'm a married man now, and I'm very happy. to be married at this age, below 30 years old, in my mid 20s now, and I was able to get married. Though there are difficult times, though there are challenges for a young man like me not working that huge money, but I took up the venture. I took up the zeal and say that I can do it. I believe in myself. I can pass through it. There's a goal that I set. I need to achieve it. And there are other goals that are set, which are long-term goals, that which I'm also working towards to achieve. So goals can make you stretch. Goals can make you think positively, and it can empower you to do more and to be strong. So there's one thing that I would like to point out also that I've been trying to inculcate in my mind. Yes, it is not that easy to inculcate in my mind, but when we try to do it, we are always trying. And when we try to do it, it will help us. We will build up a feeling of insecurity or security by how we think. Yes, we build up the feeling of insecurity and security by how we think. So that is very important for us to know and